Excellent. So we've just had a screening of Remi, Milligan, Lost Director, and we have some lovely people with us from the film. If we can start here and work that way, tell us who you are and what your involvement is in the film.
Sure. Hiya, so I'm Erin Walther, and I got to play Lizzie Evans, who over the course of the film plays Satsuman as well.
I'm Lodato, and I'm the writer, director and producer of this film.
Hi.
Oh, turn it on. It's good, it's probably switched off.
Yes. Hi, I am Yorgo Glynatsis, and I played inmate, which number? 3? 3. Inmate number 3 in one of the film Guantanamo.
Excellent. So talk to us about the origins of the story, and that's probably best for you, I guess.
The origins of this story. It was supposed to be a 3-minute short when I was a student, and I didn't do it because I spent most of my time getting drunk with my friends. So then 10 odd years later, I was looking around for an idea to turn into a feature film, and I thought, well, I have this, this idea that I put on the back burner. Let's go with that. I'd made 5 or 6 short films by then, and it was time to make a feature. And I thought, what kind of idea could I turn into a feature that looked like it had been shot on relatively high production values? And yeah, here we are now.
The thing that really stood out to me from the minute I watched it was, first of all, the madness. But the visuals, the characters, the imagery. Talk to us a little bit about the creativity behind that, and what part of your mind that comes from.
Wow, that's a great question. I think it all starts with Remi's films. And what I did is I just came up with the most ridiculous titles for films and then reverse engineered it from there. So I thought, okay, well, let's kill a pencil. Let's create a story. Song and Dance at Guantanamo Bay, what does that look like? And that was the springboard. And then everything kind of developed organically around that. I always knew I wanted to make a film about a director of bad movies. I've got an obsession with these directors who make good bad movies. What is it that drives them? And they still have artistic ambition, and there is still an audience for those films, so that's what I wanted to go after.
How difficult do you find the creative process with this film? Because obviously you've said yourself you intended on a 3-minute short, and then before you know it, you've got up to 70 minutes. Talk to us a little bit about that process of, what got in, what didn't get in, and why. Okay,
so I'll start with what didn't go in. So we'd actually planned 6 films. There's 5 that made it. One of them was supposed to be a sci-fi film, like a space opera kind of film, and it didn't make it because of budget, which is, a story of any independent filmmaker's life, right? So that was the main thing. But that's something that, I don't regret it, but it would have been a lot of fun to shoot, like a B-movie sci-fi film. So that was that. In terms of the creative process, it's something that, it was across 15 years, day by day, it was trying to flesh out these stories, and having fun with it, ultimately, as cliche as that sounds.
Yeah. And, it's clear that you guys had a lot of fun. Let's talk to yourself. Tell us about, how you were brought into the project and, what your initial thoughts were when entering this mad world.
Sure. So my way into the project was the way that a lot of actors get into a lot of films, which is obviously a casting call. And in the breakdown for the character, it actually specified that they were thinking of Cockney accents, but they were open to other ones. And it was at the time sort of just after things were starting to open up again during the pandemic, and I was so excited to see a casting for something that sounded so exciting that I was like, I'll just submit, and I'll really hope that they won't mind that my native accent isn't Cockney. And Sam was kind enough to take a chance and let me audition. And yeah, from there I got brought onto the project, and we shot some of it at one time, sort of the interview parts, and then later on we shot the films and the backstage, behind the scenes sort of moments, which is really exciting because it sort of meant that they felt like two separate experiences, which is lovely, and it also gave that little bit of time to let everything set. But yeah, from just reading the script, it was like, this is so creative, it's so funny, it's so unlike anything else that I'd seen, but at the same time my favorite part of it is that it has real heart and real love of filmmaking and art and creativity. So yeah, that was sort of my entrance and my impressions.
And the same question to you, I guess.
Mine was different. So one of my friends, Sarah, who played a girlfriend, called me to say, "Oh, I'm doing this feature film, it's super cool." And so the actor dropped. So the director is asking me, "Do you know anyone who can act, dance, and sing?" And I was like, "Acting, yes. Dancing, yes. Singing, no." But he was like, "No, it's gonna be fine." You know, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't sing." You know, sometimes you have to know your limit.
Yeah.
That time we had a call, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna be honest straight away. I can't sing." You know, and I know I can't sing. He was like, "No, it's fine. You know, you can, you know, like do spoken words." I was like, "Okay." Like when we tried this, so we shot the scene, and I'm so grateful to you that this is not in the final cut. So my career is not over. So yeah, that was my interest in the movie, and then when he explained me the story, I was like, "This is mind blowing." So, like a film within a film, then there was a video. I was like, "Wow, this is genius!" Like, and yeah, and now we became friends since that.
And did you get it straight away, or did it take some mental process?
Actually, this is a good question. I was like, so is it real or not? Do I have to pretend, because I had to play an actor playing a role within a movie and then doing it? I was like, but is it real? And then I was like, I had to figure out, I was like, okay, now I'm this character, but I'm the actor in the movie playing this character. So I had to be like, no, I am the character, let's pretend, you know, I'm not this actor. And then when I'm doing the behind the scene, I'm like, yeah, let's just be myself, because it's simple.
Samuel, what was the hardest aspect of the shoot?
The hardest aspect of the shoot, there were two things. One was COVID and the lockdowns, and the other one was Brexit, because we had an international casting crew, and many of those people had to go back to their home countries to figure out what they were going to do. So probably COVID has the edge, because I almost said, like, fuck this, sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry.
We can beat that.
Okay. I said, screw this. Like, lockdown, lots of measures in, it was basically impossible for people to shoot during that time. So yeah, I think that was the single biggest challenge. And it actually changed the way that we shot the film entirely, because Erin alluded it to earlier, but we shot it in kind of blocks, and the original intention had been for it to be shot, you know, in a traditional sense, across 27, 28 days. Instead, we shot it across blocks of 4 or 5 days, across a period of 2.5 months. 2.5 years.
And what was your favourite part of the shoot?
I think Satsuman was probably the whole craziness of it was never lost on me when I was on set. It was like, oh, we're actually doing this. People better get this, because we could fail so badly. You know, we've got an actor who's like put a lot of faith in me, and you know, she's wearing a papier-mâché suit. This is all a bit crazy, so that was fun. Yeah.
I like that. Natalie, Natalie, who does sort of all the design and stuff for the festival, she like picked out the image that you put on Film Freeway as like one of the most striking images from the whole festival. But she was like, I wonder what I can put this on and not offend people. So yeah, I mean, amazing. Thank you very much for bringing us some of the most bonkers visuals of the festival. And just a little bit, I want to go back a little bit on those sort of those aspects. You know, what sort of time frame do things like making giant paper mache suits? How long did that take?
That took months.
Yeah.
That took months. Because I've got 2 kids. I'm quite involved in like all of that side, you know, school drop-offs and all of that, and obviously a day job at the time. So just working late into the night with a floodlight in the back garden, the neighbours kind of peering through the curtains going, what the hell is he doing? With this giant beach ball and lots of water, lots of glue, lots of paper, and just covering this beach ball. So about 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
And then obviously we had to do the shorts for Satsuma, which probably breach all kinds of health and safety rules now, because that was stapled. It wasn't sewn on, you know, like it was like, you know, I left it until so late, and we just stapled the shorts together. So yeah, Satsuma was an interesting one. Yeah.
And if someone dropped, I don't know what the budget was for the film. Is that something that you're happy to talk about?
Yeah, sure. All in all, it was about 25k.
So if someone dropped, say, 100k and said, you can go back and revisit that, what would you do? Is there anything you put in there that was just like some sort of weird pipe dream?
I'd definitely shoot that sci-fi film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something that I'd like probably shoot in a few years' time. It had to do with this guy who discovered that there was a weird drug keeping everyone awake, and actually if you remove the drug, everyone just fell asleep instantly. It was like a very crazy, strange idea. So I'd probably do that. I'd pump some of that money into marketing. Like a lot of this is, you know, no one told me this, but it's like, great, we've done this film, you know, now what? And like, let's market as much as possible. So yeah, I'd spend a chunk of that on marketing, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it's like the whole making a film thing, isn't it? Whatever it costs you to make a film, be prepared to put in exactly the same amount of money when it comes to submitting to film festivals, in order to get what, and that's the top and bottom of it is. And so it's a hard industry to be in, because you're either chasing the buck or you're paying the buck. What was the largest, you know, you've got COVID in there, you're self-funding pretty much, it's like, what was your biggest constraint financially, you know, during the shoot? Because I mean, how long did it take from start to finish?
2.5 years.
So 2.5 years.
No. Say the truth. When you wrote it to now, because when you told me, I was like, this is wow. Someone who never give up. Can I say it?
Yeah, go on.
15 years. It didn't give up.
Yeah.
That's important to say.
And that's a amazing period of time to stick to a project. So hats off to you for that. Well done. Unfortunately, I don't have a roving mic out there. Does anyone have any questions they'd like to shout at me? Don't be scared. No? No? Oh, sorry. Go on. Shout a question.
What do you hope your next project is?
My next project, and we're currently looking for funding, is going to be another feature, and it's about a man who is very different from this film, by the way. I'm done with this style, like I'm moving on now.
After 15 years.
Yes, after 15 years.
Nice drama.
It's about a youth worker who works with troubled youths, and his son may or may not be the second coming. And that's the film in a nutshell. I can't talk about it more than that, but yeah. So we're currently looking for funding for that.
Excellent. And what's next for you? Sorry for you. Sorry, that's my fault.
I got so caught up in listening to Sam talk. I was like, yes, tell me more. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of the actor's life, isn't it? Is always looking for the next thing, always auditioning, always grinding away. I'm lucky enough to have a couple projects in the works. There's some voiceover things happening that I'm legally not allowed to talk about, but yeah, good things on the horizon. Which I'm very, very lucky for.
Sammy, one of the things that really stuck out to me when you sent that voice tag a couple of weeks back, I thought to myself, this is a guy who could narrate audiobooks. You've got such an amazing vocal, something about your voice. I think you'd be amazing at captivating an audience. Have you ever thought about using your voice? Has anyone ever highlighted that point to you?
I absolutely hate my voice. I can't. When I listen to recordings of my voice, I'm like, oh my god, it's just cringeworthy for me. So thank you. That's a boost.
It's like therapy.
Oh, thank you.
I feel therapized. Is that a word?
It is now.
It's part of the dictionary.
And what's next for you?
Acting-wise, nothing. But when I was acting in the film of Sam, there's the moment I started to be like, I think I want to be a film director and writer too, because as an actor, and Erin, you can say you wait a long time, and sometimes you don't have the role you want, or the role you can play, but they don't give it to you. So during the pandemic, I started to write my first short film, that now, if I can faster the process, is on Amazon Prime and Apple TV. So, and that was now a snowball effect, because I've directed 4 short films. 2 are out, and I have 2 short films coming up. I'm gonna start film festival, so we might be back.
Cool.
Can I be back next year to your festival?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I'm developing my first feature film while promoting those 2 short films.
It's interesting you saying about being a director, because I hear there's a missing director and a vacancy that's available. Big round of applause for our lovely guests. Thank you ever so much.